Hey there, everybody. How's it going? Let's see. It's not it's not too much stuff to go over today. Nor too many people for that matter. So, where it works out. Yeah, I have a new microphone and a new camera. So, um, you know, HD experience. In fact, I have a whole new machine. I built my computer recently, so that's pretty fun. Hey there, Jimmy Dogwitz. Great name from a great man. Let's see. I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking, But yeah, no, I'm just okay. So let me pull out the let me get studio set up. Okay. Yeah. So for the last few weeks, so since I guess I'm not sure if y'all know, but technically there is nothing blocking me from releasing Superhero Life 4 now, which is nice. Yeah, editable images and editable meshes are now free to use in any live game. So that's actually been a lot of my week has just been doing some more boring back end stuff, like writing up uh, different boot systems, fixing. Admittedly, I'm still making progress on actually fixing the character editor because they did release editable images. However, they changed a lot of the APIs last minute, which kind of broke a lot of the stuff. Um, but no, we're in a good place for sure. And yeah, so that feels good. But yeah, it's kind of just been me jumping between integrating stuff as well as let's see, oh, as well as getting some of the combat stuff working, which feels good. I think it could be better, but for the most part, I think considering I'm not exactly known for this kind of stuff, I think it's pretty good. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, this current run animation, by the way, don't worry. I I'm very much using one that just has a little bit more action feel to it. This isn't the final one, especially because it's literally not on the ground, which is something these kind of animations should be. But yeah, so that's that. And I've started doing I've started up something called a CI/CD workflow for continuous integration, continuous deployment, which is a fancy way of saying I can use code to publish the game, as well as change things about the game while publishing it. So you can see that here with not the object browser. Does anybody use the object browser? Like really? Um, what was it? Asset manager. Where's that at? Okay, yeah. So you can see here, there are three branches currently. There's the dev branch, which is the one I use. There is the test branch, which is the one y'all will be using. And then there's a live branch, which when the game releases, y'all will be using that for normal gameplay. For now, testing and live are functionally similar. Um, hey there. Yeah, it has been a while. But no, I'm glad that y'all are still showing up. Yeah, if you need to know how long it's been since the last stream, I was clean shaven last time, so you know. But yeah, no, it's I think 2 weeks ago I was building my PC, so there was no work done that week. Week before, and like I try to do it on every 2 weeks or so, and then just last week, editable images actually released. So my work was mostly on getting that done. But yeah, no, it's been nice. Yeah, yep, I resummoned it. Yeah, that's my superpower. Ability to grow a beard in a very short amount of time. hmm now, if I could just do that with my hairline, the let's see, where is? How about let's go to the city now? So I want to go to that one. Okay, so let's close this. Um, yeah. All right. Yeah, denial. Yeah, no, it's a strong superpower. No sane person makes a video game because you have to have such a high degree of certainty in yourself to do it. People who are too realistic don't make video games because most video games don't do well. So to get to a point where you can release a game, you kind of got to be a bit crazy. You got to be a bit overconfident, and then after that overconfidence, you have to somehow manage to swap out that overconfidence with humility so that you actually grow. And you got to not lose the momentum while doing it. So it's a tough balance, and not everyone figures it out for sure. In fact, I'd say most don't. But if you do, I think it leaves you in a pretty good spot. Um, how'd I get my name, CJ Oyer? Yes, that it was given to me by my parents. My name is Christopher James Oyer. Yeah, so that's what CJ is short for, and Oyer is just my last name. It's I believe it's French German. It's like it was from like a town that bordered France and Germany. I guess historically that means it's French, but we don't use the French pronunciation, which would be Oyer. So I guess it's also German. I don't know. Yeah, arguably, I think my family moved here before Germany became a thing, so I guess it's technically Prussian. Which, oh well. But yeah. So yeah, a bit of every yeah, like every European descendant. It's like 40 different countries. Yeah, yeah. So just running around the city. Yeah, for some reason the city isn't loading anymore. I wonder what that's about. Hmm. Oh yeah, I need to turn off character auto loads. Where did I put that? There it is. This should have turned it to false on its own, but I guess I messed up something there. Yeah, so right now, oh, everything's broken. Yeah, that's currently what I've been doing for the last day or so. Just trying to get the new, getting stuff working with the new editable image workflow. Um, it takes a while. It's not ideal. As you can see, this is not exactly where one would desire to be. But yeah, it's just, I'm just currently testing out stuff. Why does it keep giving me pink skin? I can't have like hard coded that in, right? Yeah, so slowly it's all coming together. But for the most part, like stuff is not, it's not where it needs to be to release yet, which is why it's not released. So next up will just be me. Yeah, so let's open up the appearance editor. So yeah, so this is it's interesting. Nothing is applying. But yeah, that it's kind of all mid refactor, and so a lot of stuff that used to work no longer does. But you know, we're kind of moving in a good direction with this kind of stuff. Just gotta keep on working at it. Like everything has functionality at some level. Once I get the character customization and visualization workflow done, then I will be able to go and actually fix a lot of this stuff. Um, which you know, I think yeah, the next thing after I have the character customization done, I just need to get some of the basic powers running. I have the sword stuff kind of working. It still needs some improvements, but you know, we have a solid-ish foundation with that. And then you know, connecting stuff together with some basic UI. The Ferris wheel does not work. One day, but yeah, like that's essentially what the next year is going to be. Like every week or two, I will release an update which adds more functionality, more stuff to do. And the minimum functionality that I'm going to have people test it with is the character customization should work. You should be able to have a few basic powers, and yeah. So we are officially in December. I'm hoping to get testing out by December, but as you can see, everything's kind of broken right now. And so once I go through and start fixing all of that, I'll probably have a week or two of stuff to add. Yeah, like at the very minimum, I want to have the character customization working and ability to open it and like save your characters. That's pretty important. But like once I have character saving and ideally at least one or two powers in there, then I can have people start playing it. But yeah, so that's the current strategy. But yeah, you know that's pretty much it. Like there's not too much to you know discuss beyond that. Uh, so yeah, no, I guess let's do some Q&A. And yeah, you know, streams aren't going to be as interesting because all the cool stuff we've already kind of done in previous streams, and half the other stuff is broken. Um, would you be able to import characters from other superhero lives, or would that be too complex? I used to have that working. It's not too well. It's not nothing, but I can do it if it's something that becomes worth doing, that like everyone demands. It is feasible to be able to do it. However, and it's not something that will necessarily ever be blocked. It's just something which I don't know if it's the highest priority anymore. Back when this was a Superhero Life 2 remake, that was a lot more important, of course. And nowadays, though, it's more just like something that would take up an entire weekend's worth of work. When I don't know, but y'all probably would rather I like improve the editor or add a new power or you know something like that. And so, in terms of prioritization, it becomes a little bit more complicated, you know. But yeah, so that's it's never something that'll necessarily be impossible. It's just pretty low on the priority stack right now. But yeah, okay. Let's see, any other questions? Yeah, oh, I got new glasses. I don't know if y'all see this. I think you know it fits. These are very much game developer glasses. You know, you spend too long in Silicon Valley, you just end up with these glasses. They just appear. You know, um, but yeah, it's nice. Makes my eyes look bigger, which is great because I have tiny eyes. Like, look at this. You can actually see my eye color when I'm wearing them. It's nice. Though, as my eye color is just hazel, it's not that notable. Oh no, I guess he who. It depends on when you last joined this stream, because I did move. I used to be living in Brazil. Now I live in Denver, but I moved in July, so it depends. The big change for this week is I got a new camera, a whole new PC actually, new camera, new PC, new microphone, and so you know y'all can see and hear me in HD, and I can do a lot more fancy things on my computer. It was a long needed upgrade. My old PC, which you can actually see back there, right? This thing. Okay, right there. That there it is. All right. That's been powering development since literally Superhero Life 1. Yeah. um yeah, or well, realistically, towards the end of Superhero Life 1. I started Superhero Life 1 on my laptop, which is a laptop which died so long ago, I don't even remember it. It was like a $200 one that I used for school. But yeah. Hey again. Dup, how's it going? We're just doing basic Q&A. Um, yeah, no, Superhero Life 1, I'm nostalgic for it as well. Yeah, I mean, I did open source it, so if anyone wants to get it working again, you're more than welcome to. I know I favorited some game which kind of did that, which was cool. Uh, but yeah, like, yeah, it's a shame that there's only one of me, you know? And that's why I think open sourcing is so important for your games, because if you're not going to maintain it, at least let someone else do it. Like if you have too much to do to support everyone's nostalgia, other people might, prioritize things differently. Like for me, my main focus is working on Superhero Life 4. Obviously beyond my day job, which is Blox Fruits. Which amazing team, by the way. There's a big update coming up. I know some of y'all probably saw the trailer for it. It's going to be really cool. But yeah, where's Mortal Metal 2? So far away. I don't think that game will never have a sequel. I'm sorry to say, because for one, I don't own most of it. Usually, I don't give away the majority of my stake in games, but this one I think I only have like a 40% share in. So I couldn't even. I would have to like organize people to get full control of it back, or get them to work with me, which is not impossible. But people usually are pretty busy, you know. Realistically, though, here are the games which will probably get done at some point. Night Ships, almost certainly. The second I finish Superhero Life 4, or even just get it into like a good place, I will be working on Night Ships again. From there, Infrastruct is probably the next on the definitely going to make it at some point. Because I love trains too much not to. So yeah, I'll probably do Infrastruct. And then from there, I might do Wasteland Engineer. I mean, I'll probably never leave Roblox. I can't imagine a reason why they'd kick me out or a reason why I would completely give up on it. Uh, it's possible Roblox at some point will stop existing, which, that just happens to websites at some point. Um, but, for the most part, like, I could definitely see myself trying to, like, of the games I just mentioned, it's quite possible that, like, Infrastructure or something could be, well, but Infrastructure has a multiplayer element. At some point, I will make a game outside of Roblox. That is almost certain. I'll probably do it in Godot. uh, but yeah, like in terms of games that are likely of the ones I've tried before that are likely to be external, I could imagine Infrastruct being one that I do in Godot. Just because of all of my game ideas, it's like the least social, because the fun of Infrastruct was drawing little train tracks. And you don't necessarily need to have other people for that. Like you could imagine a world where Infrastruct was fun single player. It's kind of like a city skylines for just train lines. So yeah, I could imagine Infrastruct being Godot. In fact, the more I think about it, the better idea it seems. I definitely won't be Unity. I don't trust Unity. I have friends who want it to be Unreal, but I don't want to use Unreal because for one, it's too high fidelity. Like it has a lot of customization, but you don't necessarily have the same support for super low end workflows, like which I'm used to because I work as a Roblox developer. Um, oh, when's the motorcycle game coming out? That's the thing. Nightcycle, even though the logo of it is technically a motorcycle, I actually most of my night cycling, that's a bicycle. Um, and I will say there is something to be said about like wanting to do like a racing game or like something where like you're just moving at high speeds. So that could be pretty fun. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. It's the thing is there are two weaknesses I have as a developer right now. Weaknesses in the sense that actually three. There are three weaknesses. Weaknesses in the sense that I want to be better at them, and I'm not currently good enough at them. One of them is vehicles. One of them is combat systems. And then one of them is music. I cannot make music for the life of me. And so all three of those I want to improve with over time. There used to be four. It used to be UI as well, but I've gotten pretty good at UI. It took a few years, but I've gotten better at it. And so, my hope is that with time, I'll be able to have vehicle systems feeling good, have weapon systems feeling good, and then, of course, music. I think there's like kind of an underlying artistic quality to all of them, which I just need to refine, especially in music. I have zero music experience beyond, I don't know, being in choir in high school. But yeah, so yeah, I could imagine when I go into like the vehicle direction a bit more, a racing game seeming more viable. But for now, it's pretty far down on the list. But yeah, that's good. I appreciate it. Hee hee hoo hoo. Admittedly, I'm pretty far away from being able to try that. That's going to be my 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 final challenge. I feel like because I'm already with Superhero Life 4. I'm going to be getting better at combat systems. I've been trying very hard for that. Secondly, after that, vehicles. There is going to be a vehicle element to Superhero Life 4, so I'll probably be getting okay at that. The final thing would, of course, be music. And so it's very possible that I will try to make the soundtrack for Superhero Life 4, which I think is fine, considering the fact that Superhero Life 3 didn't have a soundtrack and Superhero Life 2 had a very local quality to it. Um, yeah, so Superhero Life 2, I hired that out with a local musician who, um, yeah, they had a very local sound. And I do think I could probably make a Superhero Life 4 soundtrack. I just need to build up some of those skills. But yeah, Muse score. Um, I probably will go Soundation just because I don't have any music, like note reading aspects. So yeah, I'll probably go with something like that. Is there ever going to be a vehicle chase mission or a mission system in roleplay combat? Mission systems, definitely. Probably more in a quest format than a mission format. And I want to make them semi-procedural. I want to make them replayable. Uh, I will say vehicle chase. I I won't be able to do a vehicle chase one until we get a bigger map. Right now, this map was made with density in mind. Like it's a very small map. It was built off of the Superhero Life 2 one, of course. And so realistically, before I can do anything vehicle chase related, I have to make a map that's actually big enough for vehicles. Something more like the Superhero Life 3.5 one. That is vehicle size. That one had a good scale, but the density was, yeah. So yeah, train robbery mission that would probably also be in the Superhero Life 3.5 one because that has a train in it. The trains, I do like trains, so it's not impossible that we would add one to this map. But once again, I really do need to make this map bigger. Like just extending it even, I think could do a lot. But right now, let's not expand the scope. That's how you end up not. Let's see. Yes, I am only 26. Wait, what do you mean only? Ah, hurts. It hurts. Hmm. Yeah, but no. In fairness to y'all, like this is something I get a lot. Oh, good save, Hugh Jackson. Appreciate it. In fairness, this is the week where I had to show my ID to to buy some Thanksgiving drinks, and they put in my birthday as 1987. Hurts. They saw 97 written on the card, just went, yep, clearly 87. Oh well, gonna remember that for years. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm only yeah. So I'm only 26. Yeah. I mean, in fairness, for what I've done, like in terms of Roblox stuff, I did start when I was 10. So you could look at this as only 26, or you could look at it as 16 years of experience. So that helps. But I think that for the most part, most of those years were not super valuable. I'd say only about the last 8 years. Okay, I started doing game development full time in 2020. I would say about a third to almost maybe a half of my growth came in those last 4 years. And then about a fourth of my growth came from between 18 and 22 when I was in college. And then the final fourth was just the prior, like, 8 years before that. So, if y'all wanted to become a game developer, you definitely can. It does take time to get here, but the main thing I would recommend is to push yourself into interesting projects. Do things that are difficult. As much as we make jokes about how Superhero Life 4 is never coming out, a lot of the reason I can make a game as good as it is nowadays, the reason that I can do these cool things is because I tried things that were cooler and they didn't work. Like I tried my best to make them make an entire procedurally generated game, and that showed me the limits of both technical debt and my own ability for performance stuff. And like, yeah, same thing with Infrastruct. It taught me a lot about organizing my code. That Infrastruct was so helpful, y'all. Like, you don't understand. Before Infrastruct, like every piece of code I've written after Infrastruct, I can in theory reuse. Every piece of code before it, no, possible. It's just disgusting. Yeah, but yeah, so Infrastruct was a very helpful project. Like, there's a reason I got Wasteland Engineer working in like a month or two, even though it didn't go much further beyond that. But when you only spend 2 months on a project and not continue it, that's a little bit less painful than spending a year or multiple years. Um, but yeah, let's see. You'll stick to making soundtracks? I would encourage you to learn some code. I will say, like, maybe not Java, but I think Python. Anyone can benefit from Python. Anyone who uses computers can benefit from Python. Like, for example, I'll use it for stuff that isn't even like that programming related. For example, with Roblox game development, if you use a .ogg file, the sound will start playing instantly. However, if you use a .mp3, there's going to be a slight delay of a few milliseconds before it starts. And for something like a sound effect, that can be pretty tough. And so I actually wrote a basic Python script which went through and using a framework, a library called Pillow in Python, which is very easy to add. It goes through and it actually converted all of them from an MP, all the sound files I bought from a sound effect pack from MP3s to OGGs. And like this kind of stuff that is very helpful. Stuff that you could imagine doing even if you were only a sound designer. And that's what Python I think is worth. I think anyone who uses computers professionally should know Python without a doubt. There is just stuff that you can do that you are doing manually right now that you'll want to do if you know you can do it in Python. You know, but yeah. And hey, I can tell you, 22 is not too late. Do you know how old I was when I started learning any code that wasn't Roblox game dev code? You're gonna like it. I was 22. I started learning it 4 years ago. Actually, maybe even 3 years ago. Let's see. I started learning it right around the time I started doing Infrastruct, which was 20, I think it was 21. No, it was 22. So maybe even 2 years ago. Yeah, no, like I promise you, learning to program is one of those things where you can actually level up pretty quickly. In fact, I'd say that a lot of people who start out programming at a very young age, they're actually learning a lot slower. I don't know what people are saying in terms of like, oh yeah, you learn stuff so much faster when young. That is not true. I learned stuff so much. It used to take me like half a decade to learn some concepts in math. Now I can learn them in a few weeks. Like, I really do think that that learning coding, you're never too old to start doing that. You can get huge gains in your own utility and ability in just a few months. And yeah, just stick with it. Use ChatGPT to help you answer questions. That has made it so much easier to learn things, these kind of technical skills. Because the worst part of learning to program is having to ask other programmers questions, without a doubt. It's painful because they're all arrogant. It's just because programming is very cool and you can do really cool things, but it also gets right into that part of your head which like makes you think you're right about everything. And so, I'm not immune to this. And yeah. Oh yeah, the music world, art world too. My friend Ryan will rant about 3D artists. Yeah, no, I think just when you're too good at something, I think you start to forget what it feels like to be starting out. I try my best to not be um, too condescending. The only reason I'll ever get condescending is when someone condescends to me. You know, a few days ago, some developer DM'd me and was like, just came in with so much ego. They were like, "Do you want to be part of the future?" And like they had no portfolio, no accomplishments. And then I was just like, "Well, here's my portfolio. What are you offering?" And you know, it's so come into any conversation humble. There are a lot of developers, even ones who are super advanced. If you come in not pretending like you know what you're doing, not setting up a front, not trying to look cool, because people who know what they're doing will be able to tell that you don't know what you're doing so quickly. So just accept that you're ignorant. Do you know what a trait of an amazing programmer is? Saying how bad their code is. I don't trust anyone who just says, "Oh yeah, my code is excellent. I'm an amazing programmer." That person is either ignorant or lying. There's nobody makes good code. Everyone who's good at making code knows exactly where their code could be better. You can get better at making code, but you can never get good at it. Does that make sense? But yeah. So yeah, oh yeah, no. See, I can tell you, I my for a while my favorite actual programming language was C sharp. I don't know. I think especially after working with Roblox Lua, some of the safety that you get from C sharp feels nice. Like the problem is Lua really shouldn't be used for projects as big as you get on Roblox, and C sharp is used for game development a lot. C sharp and C++. And so when you actually get to use the language which was built up a lot more in that direction, it feels right. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend C sharp, C++, Python. I would also recommend Rust, but Rust is a tough thing to recommend because it is going to be the hardest language most programmers learn. There are harder languages, but most programmers won't learn them, Like, it's going to give you a headache. But once you figure out how to code in Rust, you will be able to write some very safe code that runs very quickly and is very easy to refactor, which can be super valuable for projects. Problem is, it's Rust. It takes a long time to learn. It's hard to onboard people into, and it has. There's just so many skills you have to learn to get Rust working. But once you get there, it is one of the most valuable skills you can have. And yeah, so it's tough. I think it's one of those things where you just try it and then burn out. Few people are going to succeed with their first programming language being Rust. Just try it, then give up. But then keep on trying it until you don't give up, you know? But yeah, was learning Roblox code helpful at all in learning other languages? That's actually a tough one. Because on the one hand, okay, here's how I would divide it up. Making games on Roblox taught me on an emotional level that if I set my mind to something, I can make cool things with code. It gave me sort of the emotional backing of like, okay, yeah, this is going to give me a headache. It's going to be frustrating, but I can figure it out. And once I do figure it out, it'll be really cool. So you need to have that emotional core. If you already have that from, say, other hobbies you have, or being really good at schoolwork or something, then that's great. That is what I'd say the biggest contribution to Roblox programming is. It's that sort of ability to know you can solve this. That being said, give me two developers. One who has been coding on Roblox since they were 10. Let's imagine both these developers are like 22. And the other one who started coding Python at age 21. I genuinely believe the Python developer might be a better programmer. The problem is a lot of Roblox developers are designers. They are designers. They learn to code as a means to an end to implement their design. They don't usually think too much about technical debt. They don't usually care too much about software engineering. It's more about the shortest path to get their current design done. Now, if they're, in my opinion, more experienced designers, they'll come to realize how important iteration is in that design. Like how important it is to be able to change things quickly. And when you get to changing things quickly, you start learning about technical debt. And when you learn about technical debt, you start learning about, how to write cleaner code. And that makes you into a better software engineer. But I don't know if it's Lua. I don't know if it's the community. I don't know if it's the fact that most of us start out when we're kids. Most Roblox programmers are not good programmers. And that's rough. There are some Roblox programmers who are very, very talented, who are much better programmers than me. But they're the exception. If you know how to make your code type safe, you are genuinely like the top 0.1% of Roblox programmers. If you use Rojo, top 0.1% of Roblox programmers. Like if you know what GitHub and Git actions are, top 0.1% of Roblox programmers. And I think the problem is a lot of people are very comfortable in their current Roblox development flow. You have to learn how to mess that up. You have to learn to take some time and learn new things and break things, So yeah. Hey, I mean, like Python at 20, I think that worked out for me. It was a good first step. I think, yeah. So I think, yeah, C sharp, that'd be a painful note. I didn't know C++ was a note. That doesn't seem like a note. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. But yeah, there is no such thing as perfection, only practice. Couldn't say it better myself. But yeah, wins CJ getting on the Type Soul team. I don't actually know what that is. Let's see, Type Soul. Did you mean Type Safe? Because I am on the Type Safe team. That was what I learned at Infrastruct. Oh, okay, gotcha. No, I'm not leaving the Bloxford team for a long time. Hopefully, they're very very fun to work with, and they have the right amount of like freedom. I feel to make a development team really fun, and like it shows. That's why the game is so successful. I feel. So I really like working with them. So I'll probably be staying with them for a long time. Even if like Superhero Life 4 does well, I'll probably stay on the team there. Like I don't know, I like it. I don't know what to tell y'all. Play the game, you know. The but no, I probably will not be leaving that team anytime soon. Um, oh no, oh if they're infamous, then maybe. And see, this is why you don't join new teams. You think you're joining a cool team. Turns out they have a bad reputation. Yeah. So and I've never been one for checking reputations before I join the team. I just when I join the team, I'll realize, oh, okay, these people are cool, or these people are not cool. And I can tell you, Bloxford's people seem pretty cool. So yeah, I lucked out. Yeah, the yeah, when you find a good team in game dev, you stick with that team. You do not re-roll the dice. Yeah, the because the odds are never in your favor when it comes to the game industry. But yeah, so I think for the most part, though, okay, so C++ means double augmented since. Ooh, okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, the yeah, so yeah, this is why I'm gonna have to learn music because I've already learned. I'm already learning the notes through programming languages, so it's like gotta lock in. I do want to learn C++ at some point, but ever since learning Rust, I haven't really had a reason to. Like it feels more like I should, just so that in case I ever want to do like Unreal or something, I can use C++. But nah, I don't know. Like it's like there's just nothing in C++ that I couldn't do with either Rust or C Sharp more purely. Like I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably have to just do it at some point just to like check that box to make sure I understand it correctly. Um, that makes sense. Yeah, I actually took a very basic set of piano lessons when I was in middle school, I think, but no more than two or three. Like, really, it's just more of a when to find the time to do it. I'm not going to be able to learn too many new skills until I get Superhero Life 4 in a better place because it needs to come out. I'm tired. I want the game out. I want it to be done. I want to do other games, honestly. I have so I want to do night ships. I want to make infrastructure in Godot, I want to do those things. But I should finish Superhero Life 4 first. I am now a good enough developer to do it. There are no excuses. I can do it now. I just have to finish it. And yeah, I can no longer be like, actually, it turns out I still have more to learn. No, I've learned it all. I've learned enough to make Superhero Life 4, without a doubt. I just need to actually do it. Which I've been working on the weekends to do that, and we're making progress. I know it's not as exciting as when I used to do it every day, um, but progress is being made. Yeah, the hopefully next time I'll have the editor working again, and maybe some of the powers. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. I'm lucky to have such a dedicated community. Hopefully, these streams are at the very least entertaining enough while I finish up that stuff. But yeah, like for the most part, though, I think that's about it for today. You know, yeah. So yeah, say hello to Stream 2.0. New glasses, new camera, new microphone, and we might actually release Superhero Life 4. So yeah, yeah. I mean, in fairness, I actually had this a beard that like looked like a beard within about 2 weeks. Yeah, like I need to shave very frequently. Like, okay, you see this part right here? See, this is the benefit of having a very HD camera. Actually, let's see how let me mess with the focus a little bit. There we go. All right. So yeah, you see this right here? This is because the last time I shaved was about two days ago. This is how much I got back in 2 days. You know, it's yeah, it's rough. Get the Schlatt button. I do know who Schlatt is. We'll see. We'll see. The problem is like this beard. I didn't really choose it for fashion sense. I chose it more for. Let me get my focus tuned correctly. Let's see. Close enough. All right. Yeah, because this is like the minimum amount of shaving I can do without looking crazy. Like if I just have to do this part, and then sometimes this part. And then like the rest of it I can kind of just leave untouched for, weeks. And that is the level of beard maintenance I'm willing to put in. But yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. Fashion for me is very much just like a means to an end. Like I have matured enough in my autism to understand. It took many lessons, but to understand people will in fact be mean to me and think less of me if I don't look handsome and if I don't dress well. And so now you got to put an effort to that kind of stuff. Yeah, the it's not really something I care about beyond that though. So this is the minimum amount of beard effort that looks socially acceptable. All right. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm trying to do streams every 2 weeks. Once the thing is, I just don't have as many interesting things to show because a lot of my work for the last month or two has been me fixing things or me just making small iterations on the combat stuff. Like, it just hasn't been as exciting, and it's just harder to show it off. And so I kind of delay it, hoping that maybe next week I'll have something really cool, and I never do. And so then I just bite the bullet and stream with everything half broken. But yeah, like that's pretty much it. Well, I guess the thing is the fixes aren't interesting when they're fixes to things that are newly broken. Like, let's say that you have a functional feature and then between streams it breaks and then you fix it. From the perspective of the stream, just nothing has changed. So, yeah. But I'm glad to hear that y'all find it a little bit interesting. Like I guess I'd just rather be able to show you cool new stuff. Like it was more fun when I was able to show you improvements to the combat stuff, or even better, the improvements to the like the best time I think for the stream was when I was making new aspects to the map every day, and when I was adding new things to the character editor every day. That was peak stream in my opinion. So yeah, yeah. We'll see. Yeah, I'm kind of overdoing coding on stream. I might do it again at some point, but I don't know. It slows down the coding, and since I don't have as much time to actually do coding every week now, it's just like might as well just focus, lock in. Yeah, I can't believe it. I don't know how y'all did it. Yeah, I don't really watch the old streams though. Kind of a kind of painful looking back. Just such a different life. You know, the yeah. So can you believe it? Since I started Superhero Life 4, I've lived in like let's see. I've lived in 5 different cities and had 2 different long-term relationships. It ages you, but I think it'll be good to finally have it done. I think that'll be like a huge milestone in my life. You know? Oh yeah, no, I do. Okay. I do like talking about code though, and I'm glad that you'll find it interesting. Okay, maybe okay. If it is something that y'all find interesting, maybe once the game's in a more stable place and the improvements are more like smaller stuff, then I will go back to streaming the actual code. But yeah, because I do like talking about my code. You got me. Yeah, but anyway, that's pretty much it. Yeah, CJ lore. Yeah, the CJ lore runs deep. Say it yourself. Let's see. We all spent most of the time talking about Marvel or something. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, There was a lot of fun just discussion of stuff. Superhero Life 4 is a good game. I will say Superhero Life 4 can be a good game. As a person who once said Superhero Life 3 is a good game, I could tell you that doesn't change what state it's actually in. Yeah, don't. Superhero Life 4 can be a good game, and it's on me to do that. And that's the thing. That's why game design. Well, I do talk a lot about programming stuff and technical debt these days. At the end of the day, being a producer and being a designer, those are still the more important jobs. A game which runs well and can be refactored quickly technically isn't successful. You have to turn it into something good. Now, if you can refactor it quickly, you don't need to be as good a designer because you can just take on more shots than the goal, you know? So you need, I'd say that having both is very good. But at the end of the day, if the game never releases, it's not going to succeed or be fun. If the game is poorly made, it's not going to succeed or be fun. And I have been both of those developers before. I have had games that never released. In fact, historically, that's been a huge problem the last few years. Then before that, I had games that released, but weren't always fun. I have put in a lot of effort to overcome those two obstacles. And so Superhero Life 4 will release, and it will be fun. You know, if I've learned nothing, it's how to do that. Now, as to when it's going to release, we'll see, we'll see. But it will. As to when it'll be fun, we'll see, we'll see. But it will. But yeah, you know. Well, in fairness, Colossus Valley I made in a single week. I made that game in 7 days on stream. You could watch it. However, Mortal Metal, yeah, well, that's the thing, because I feel like game jams are actually kind of my sweet spot, because it forces me to not over polish. It forced me to just follow the fun super quickly. Some of my favorite games were games I made in like a week or two. But then some games that took months started out as a week or two game. Like Infrastruct, which I spent 11 months on, was supposed to be done in a month. Wasteland Engineer, which took like 3 or 4 months, supposed to be done in a month. Yeah. My ex was not happy when I started when I paused Infrastruct to start Wasteland Engineer and then released neither of them. We didn't live together at the time, but if we did, I would have been sleeping on the couch. Mm-hmm. Yes, no, that's actually a common trend of my exes being very annoyed at me when I don't release the game. So y'all think you guys give me crap for not releasing stuff? You have no idea. But yeah. So yeah, it's Mortal Metal. Well, in fairness, Mortal Metal wasn't less. Mortal Metal was a team of like 10 people with a budget of like $5,000 I was paying out of pocket. You know, any relationship advice for a young game dev? I'm single, so what do I know? But for what it's worth, just I guess at the end of the day, I'd say romance is a numbers game. There is a percentage of the population who will love you and you'll have a happy life with. Maybe it's 1 out of 10, maybe it's 1 out of 100, 1 out of 1,000. That number exists. And so at the end of the day, so long as, you're being respectful, I think the best strategy is just try to meet as many people as you can, because that you'll figure it out. If you keep meeting people, go socialize, go to parties, download apps, be safe on them, of course, but like there's a reason people use them. It's because it allows you to meet a lot more people. And then, don't forget to respect yourself at the end of the day. A relationship should be making you feeling happier, If you're not feeling that way, there are more fish in the sea. It's never too late to start over for a happy life with a partner who you fit with. And so, yeah, just, keep your head up, keep at it. Don't be toxic. Don't be cruel. Don't lose sight of how valuable you are as a person. And if the other person don't see that, that's their loss. But also there's a side of it that where you work to make yourself valuable. Dress in a way which you can be proud of. Make sure you style your hair a way which you can be proud of. Decide what your standards are for yourself and work super hard to meet them. In fact, I'd say even on the miserable days, because I get lonely sometimes. On those are the days where working hard and biking and doing all this stuff just to make myself a little bit better version of myself. Those are the days where that is the most important. So don't lose hope. I want to say hello back, but I also don't want to respond to Pookie. But yeah. So that's game dev relationship advice. Though really, I think it might be good neurotypical not game dev relationship advice. But if you are not neurotypical, you can probably find better relationship advice. It's all right, little gremlin. I appreciate the consideration. Yeah, I'm definitely reaching a point in my life. I guess for me, that point was like 25, 26, where there was a clear gap in the culture between me and my audience. Like back when I was 17, making a game for 14-year-olds, like that was, I felt like I was on the same page as a lot of people. Now it's just like, I'm an old man. Yeah, only 26. Yeah. Am I actually a little gremlin? No, but I think I have a thing in my back called a stenosis, which is very common for little people. So, yeah, maybe I was supposed to be little. We'll see. Yeah, oh no, we were asking him. Okay, that connects because his name is Little Gremlin. You weren't asking me that. Admittedly, asking people don't ask the 6'3", 200 something pound bearded guy if he's a little gremlin too often. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's the thing that you see. You can't be too neurotypical and be a game developer. It just don't work. I'm sorry. Sorry to be the one to tell you this. Doesn't happen that often. Congratulations on the 19 subscribers. Yeah. Oh, dang, 20. Good work. But yeah, out of fear that I might get too much subscribers by streaming for too long, I don't want to raise those standards for myself. I've disappointed far too many people at my current standards. So I am going to end the stream now. It was nice talking to y'all. I will see you in probably another 2 weeks, sometime before the year ends. Yeah, so hopefully things will be functional and I'll be closer to knowing how releasable things are by that point. But yeah. So thank you all so much for stopping by. I will keep you all posted. And one last question before I was wrapping up. Okay, all right. But it was so nice. How can I not respond? All right. I appreciate you liking my work. Does Superhero Life 4 going to have a story mode? Well, it's going to have quests and missions. So there's going to be story and lore in it. I'm not sure I'm going to be pursuing a single player story mode. That doesn't seem to gel too well with Roblox on the most part. And also, I do think story modes in many ways are often detrimental to games. I would much rather have a game where the systems themselves tell a story or like create a narrative where you can create a narrative in the game rather than have one be spoon-fed to you. I think stories in a linear sense, they work much better for movies and TV shows and books. And like literally every other media is more suited for linear storytelling than video games. So yeah. So, I've watched too many screenwriter YouTube channels. I took a game narrative class. I do want to do narrative stuff in the game. And hello from Brazil. Let's see. Yeah, my Portuguese is almost gone. It's crazy. It's crazy how quickly it fades when you don't use it every day. But yeah, no, I lived in Brazil for a bit. Eu falo português. I can't believe the last thing I remember in Portuguese is I speak Portuguese. I guess in fairness, the second I forget that, I will definitely not speak Portuguese. Eu falo português. Yeah, that's about it. It's a shame. It's a shame how quickly it fades. I would have enjoyed to keep that, but I also would have enjoyed to keep Spanish. And Portuguese replaced that, so I'm just left monolingual. I've regressed. Maybe I can compensate by learning all these programming languages. But anyway, thank you all for stopping by. Take care. Have a nice December. I will see y'all probably in a week or two. Well, actually 2 or 3 weeks. Let's be honest. I don't stream weekly. Every 2 weeks, though. That's my goal. Anyway, talk to y'all later. And to my friends across the world in Brazil, ciao.